The views and opinions expressed in Media Litter Sandwich do not reflect on the views of the network, station, studio, website, sponsors, guests, hosts themselves, anyone or anything else associated or even not associated with this podcast. Maybe not even the person that said them. In other words, do your own research and do not sue anyone over what is said on this show.
Could it be a place of wonder? Let's face it, chances of it going well are not very high. Welcome to Media Litter Sandwich. I'm Toad, and you could find the video versions on YouTube at youtube.com/ToadenK, or you can go to Toaden.com or MediaLitterSandwich.com. You want to listen to this for the first time and talk to me in the chat room? Go to dvradio.net and go look up their schedule. I was on Tuesday nights, but after the hiatus, which I'm actually still on while I'm recording this, I have no idea. Maybe Oink can tell me that because he's actually watching me live, I believe. I don't know. I just assume to send everyone over to the scheduler and they could figure that out. I know they're working on some great shows, so maybe those shows are up now because I don't know what shows they have on right now other than Barracks Talk. And something that Oink's doing on Friday nights. I don't know. But today, so my plan for today was, and I planned this like 7 months ago. There's a huge anime convention in Detroit called Youmacon, and they usually have a free day before the actual convention. And I read somewhere this year was going to be on the Wednesday. I messed up, or they changed it. I don't know. So it's not today, and I have video versions different than the audio version. I'm holding up a leather coat, a replica of Canada's coat from Akira, the animated movie, manga series, whatever. It's a really nice leather jacket with a pill on it. Good for health, bad for education. And I have matching red leather pants to go with it, too. I think they fell on the floor. I guess that's a good place for leather pants, is on the floor. I mean, would they be anywhere else? Grabbing them. Yep, I got my leather pants. My red, very warm leather pants that I may be able to squeeze my Jinkos underneath. That's always nice, having a Halloween costume where you can just wear over your pants, but having large Jinko jeans, 90s Jinko jeans, you don't always have that option. So what am I going to talk about today? I might as well talk about anime and cosplay because I don't know. I have an Akira costume. Well, technically it's Canada's costume, not the country, but a character from the movie / manga / whatever. Behind me. So, but everyone knows this is Akira, so I'm going to say the Akira jacket just to not confuse anybody. And DV Oink is telling me that I still have a spot on DV Radio. And no, they're not chaps. They are actual leather pants. If they, I don't think the world would be able to face it if I had buttless chaps. Although, since it is raining and I've been riding an electric scooter, they would be glistening and amazing today. The pants, not my butt. Well, I might as well talk about anime. Man, I wish I had the ability to run audio through the system. I might be able to invite someone audio from the phone and then just hold the phone up to the microphone, but I don't think that would sound anywhere near as I would like it, so I can't do that. But it's all good. All chaps are buttless, apparently. I don't know. Hi, Guy. One of these days, I'm going to put a camera pointing out to the window. I love getting like really professional dressed people to look at me and wave. Like, I don't know who you are, but hi. No interest in the world. They're probably just coming over here for the restaurant. Or maybe they think it's free day and are cosplaying as rich old white men. I don't know. I mean, that seems like a popular cosplay, right? Someone's asking me about wide angle. Wide angle on the chaps or wide angle on the stream? So I am live streaming on Facebook, but I am not going to post it afterwards. So if you want to catch the live stream, you have to catch it live. And I don't tell people when I'm live streaming because it's kind of a last minute thing. So you just have to follow Media Litter Sandwich or Toaden. Preferably both, because I may only announce it on one. Which one I'm going to live stream from? It kind of depends. If it's from the show, it'll probably be Media Litter Sandwich. If it's before or after the show or on a random day about something that's not the actual show, it will probably be Toaden. So anyways, what can we talk about? Cosplay, buying cheap things, buying on Amazon. I'll get this plug out of the way. If you are buying anything on Amazon, use smile.amazon, smile.amazon. The reason I pimp that out is because, I am associated with DV Radio, which has a great charity. Go ahead and look up dvfarm.org, and you can learn all about that charity. And if you use smile.amazon, you can choose DV Farm as your charity of choice. And if you don't, that's fine. You could choose so many charities of your choice there because it's no cost to you and the charity gets a little something that adds up. It really does help. If you're going to use Amazon, use smile.amazon. I tell people that a lot, especially when they tell me Amazon's a horrible, evil company. Well, do you use them? Only when I have to. Well, if you're going to use them, use smile.amazon. Maybe it'll make you feel a little less worse, Anime. So I got Akira, the Akira cosplay behind me. I did not buy it at all. I still don't know how I've come to be in possession. It's not mine. It's not anybody's. It's not anybody's. It's the way we got in possession of this cosplay, this jacket and pants, is at work. One of my coworkers was in the mailroom for something, and they go, "Hey, someone left this here, or someone else bought it, and they don't want it. You guys seem to like this. Would you want this?" Leather jacket and leather pants? Yeah, we want it. So now it just chills in our area if we want to borrow it. I'm having a couple questions from DV Oink about cosplaying. There are so many he's asking about Walking Dead. There's a lot of different Walking Dead cons, and there's also a lot of zombie related events. You could go look at a lot of my previous zombie related events at youtube.com/toadenk or toaden.com. I hope by the time this goes live, I haven't edited it yet as I record today, but I did Wine.Zombie pub crawl. So I got another zombie video in the works. In fact, I did a podcast that day. So you can see a lot of zombie cosplay if you watch the video version of that podcast, which hopefully is out before this one. So you could go back and watch that one. For the Walking Dead stuff, man, anything with all the zombie apocalypse stuff. I think I did that 2 or 3 years. All that had some really dedicated Walking Dead fans that go to all the Walking Dead cons. So that's a good one to start on mine. But yeah, I think it's like Walker Stalker is a big Walking Dead con. You can try to use some cactus stickers for the house and stuff. The house has a lot of cactus stuff in it. It's cool. Okay. $17. So DV Farm got $1,700 from smile.amazon last quarter. So that's for four. So people just using that site in a 4-month time got them close to $2,000. That's pretty cool. No cost to the customer. So yeah, Smile.Amazon makes a difference. You may say, oh, they only got 10 cents of my order. But it didn't cost you anything, and that 10 cents grows. So that's really cool. Hi, Misty. Of course, Misty Mills is watching, and her voice is at the beginning of all these podcasts. So, hey, DV Oink, if you like our disclaimer voiceover, that would be Misty Mills. And if you could match her old voiceover payment from GM when she did GM commercials, you might be able to get her on DV Radio. Probably a little bit less, I'm assuming. So, what can I talk about? I think I started talking about anime. Yeah, Akira. Akira is the big one, right? I heard I should probably look up on my other phone if they are actually doing the Akira live action movie, which I don't know if it's anything like the live action movie for Death Note. I will not be looking forward to it. Although anything with Will Dafoe would be worth watching, I guess. They should just like automatically stick them in every American anime redo. That's because that's totally what what's that movie? The one movie that everyone said was whitewashed. Anime movie with the androids. Come on, Sam, you know this one too. Can you not hold the phone? I'm not holding the phone anymore. What is it? It's the one, Angelina Jolie or Scarlett Johansson, one of them. What was it? It was the Ghost in the Shell. That's why Ghost in the Shell didn't do so well. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it, but it didn't have Willem Dafoe. And if you're going to be an American movie doing an anime, live action anime movie, you have to have Willem Dafoe. It's like a cardinal rule. That's like having a god voiceover without without Morgan Freeman. It's not done unless you're going to resurrect George Burns. Not George Burns. Oh, what's his name? He was in the old. No one watches these no more. There was a movie series like "Oh God, You Devil," with an old comedian. With that guy. And people from the live stream aren't helping. But yeah, so Akira, great movie. If you never watched that anime series, that's where a lot of America's attention to anime started, was Akira. It is very gruesome, actually. It's lots of graphic violence, especially towards the end. Not a kids movie. Now, if you want to get kids started, now of course there's many different good opening. Of course, nowadays most people get introduced to anime through Pokemon or Digimon or one of the other Mons that also have card games. And yes, if you're watching the video version, I'm fiddling around with a piece of camera equipment that broke. So, $13 piece of gear off my camera that I was holding my boom microphone broke. So I will probably spend more money on Amazon and use Smile.Amazon. So maybe DV Farm will beat what they made last quarter. And that piece just rolling on the floor down the studio. I will have to pick that up later. DV Oink says he sucks with movies. Well, what else do you do in Alaska, really? What else is there to do in Alaska? Other than look at the glorious, glorious views, but how long does that last? Okay, some people are on the live stream are just listening, so they can't type their answers. That's fine. That's fine because, you could always you could always listen to whatever I do. And when I edit this, when I put it out in a few months or a month or however long it was, I'm recording this on October 30th. So you could tell me when this eventually went live. October October 30th, 2019. So just in case if it takes me way longer than I'm thinking to get this out there. But yeah, Akira is a great one that I started with. Another one that a lot of people started with, I didn't, was Robotech. That was a really cool one. I rewatched the Macross saga several times. I could never really get much further after Macross. What's that? Well, I love my robots. With anime, I like robots. I love the Gundams, Big O, anything with huge, gigantic robots that can step on people is fantastic. Which Akira kind of has that. They have a gigantic cyber organism that accidentally steps on people at the end. Oops, is that a spoiler? I don't know. But I think that's how I've been choosing my animes, because a lot of them are Gundam related. I think it has to do with the gigantic robots. If you don't have a gigantic robot or a gigantic monster, I might not watch your anime. At least we figured that out. Try to make them anyways. Let's see here what the comments say. Whoa. Oh, Dragon Ball. I did like Dragon Ball. I love Dragon Ball. Love Dragon Ball Z. We've talked about Dragon Ball Z a lot of times when Don is here. He loves Dragon Ball Z. We talk about that whenever he's a guest. We've talked about a few different anime things. We had a whole episode where we talked about Ghost in a Shell. So, Cowboy Bebop. Yes, I need to watch more Cowboy Bebop. I still don't know how I've not watched the entire series of Cowboy Bebop. That's a great one. Oh man, yeah. Cowboys in Space are fantastic. Or bound, which brings up Trigun. Trigun was probably one of the first animes, not to get me into anime, but to get me into watching a full anime series. Because I've watched several, because I liked anime movies. Vampire Hunter D. I guess Dragon Ball Z counts too, but that was on Toonami. A lot of times stuff that's just on Toonami didn't really count. I know Trigun was on Toonami as well, but I watched the whole series long before it was on Toonami, so that's why I don't equal it to Toonami. It's still hard for me to equal Neo Geo Evangelion. I know I totally screwed that name up, to Toonami as well, because I've seen that. I started watching that long before, and then that was an interesting series for me to watch, because I eventually was watching on Toonami the rebroadcast at like 3 in the morning, like 2 or 3 in the morning or something like that. The job I had at the time, I had to be at work by 6 a.m. So at 4 in the morning, I would be watching Neo Geo Evangelion, which has gigantic robots. Well, technically, they're gigantic monsters converted to robots. It all has to do with gigantic robots. Full Metal Alchemist. Not enough gigantic robots. Come on. If Labyrinth has more gigantic robots in the anime series, there's a problem. Someday I still want to cosplay Victoria from Vampire Hunter D. Yeah, that'd be a cool cosplay. That would be a very cool one. And Misty, I don't know if you saw what's behind me. I'm just gonna hold it up so I don't have to mention it no more. But yeah, getting up at 4 in the morning for a job that you don't like, watching Neo Geo Evangelion, that always puts you in a really weird mindset. Other than if it's just gigantic robots or gigantic monsters fighting, because that was the cool part. Everything else was just so weird. And I guess that does bring part of anime is you don't know what you're getting unless you read the reviews, because it's just like any other show, except for these series get dark. Another good show I really liked was Lane Serial Experiments. Yet no gigantic monsters in that one, but it had to do with the internet and virtual reality, sort of, and that was cool. That show was really cool and very depressing show, but very cool. They took the internet into a very weird place where they kind of, you'd have to watch it. They took it to a very different place where it's not just the internet, but they can change fabrics of reality. But that's not the point of the show. You have to watch the show. The point of the show is something completely different. It just happens to be a thing that the main character learns how to do. And she actually bends time in it, I believe, too. But again, not the point, and she only does it like twice. And they're not even big things. It has to do with kind of the adolescents growing up and learning this new thing, and not just checking Facebook, but learning how it connects not just people into to each other, hence learning more about the world, but finding more fabrics that connects the world and time and life. It's very depressing, but very cool. Okay, I gotta read a little bit. Let me catch up on these comics real quick. Full Metal Alchemist, love Full Metal Alchemist. I watched both that series and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. That live action series was pretty decent, needed William Dafoe. Although I don't think it was American made, so I guess he doesn't apply to that rule. But you got to watch Brotherhood, though. You got to watch Brotherhood and then the movie. But the other one's fun too. The original Full Metal Alchemist is fun. Brotherhood is a little bit deeper, a little bit darker, flushes things out a little bit more. Talk about the whole concept of Full Metal Alchemist is dark. For those that don't know, it's the series starts with two very young kids trying to resurrect their mother. She died, and they're trying to bring her back to life. And in exchange, they give up. One brother gives up his entire body, and the older one's able to bond the soul to a suit of armor. Not a gigantic robot. See, there's problems with this. If it was a gigantic robot, it'd be no. He bonds his little brother's soul to a suit of armor, and the bigger brother loses an arm and a leg, and it's the whole basis for the entire series. They do magic. They call it something else, but yeah, they have magic in that. Yep, Nina is the super sad episode. Helsing, Van Helsing was fantastic. I love Van Helsing. Paprika, isn't that a character from Blue's Clues? Anything from Studio Ghibli is fantastic. You're right, Sam. Anything from Studio Ghibli. Even the old college stuff. I have a DVD of the little shorts from before they started making the bigger movies. Anything from Studio Ghibli. Princess Mononoke used to be one of my favorite animes. Even with the American voices, it's still a good one. And I know you don't like the American voices in one of the other ones. I do get that. No, wait, does Stargate have an anime series, Misty? What are you talking about? Highlander has an anime movie or an anime series. I heard that was very good. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is not an anime. Although Star Trek Deep Space Nine is still the best Star Trek series ever written. If any of the Star Trek series deserved an anime, it would have been DS9, because they could do so much cool stuff with it. That they probably had the best plot and the best ongoing storyline of all the Star Treks that I have seen. I have not seen the new one. And as the time of this recording, Star Trek Picard has not come out yet. So, I mean, I know the original Star Trek did have a cartoon show. The original Star Trek puts me to sleep, and the original cartoon show hurts my eyes. You say whatever you want. It could be the most intelligent thing in the world. It hurts my eyes, so I can't watch it. Not too many cartoons hurt my eyes, but for some reason that one hurt my eyes. Star Wars Droids hurts my eyes, although I love that one. That one was good too. Maybe I should rewatch it because it's probably not as good as I remember. I know Ewoks was not as good as I remember. And I am talking about the cartoon show. The movies weren't as good as I remember either. And you're not a true Ewoks fan if you haven't seen both of the movies and at least a couple episodes of the TV show. Yeah. See, I don't care what novel you're writing about Stargate. If it's not, if it's not anime, it doesn't belong on the show. And if it is an anime, it's got to have gigantic robots. Gigantic robots makes every anime better. I think that's a point I'm trying to make here. Transformers, great cartoon show. Gigantic robots. Michael Bay Transformers, not a good show because the gigantic robots were barely in them. They're CG. Robot Jocks movie, which is not an anime, but Robot Jocks is better than Pacific Rim. There, I said it. If they're going to remake Robot Jocks, they should just remade it and not made this Robot Jocks meets Neo Geo Evangeli called Pacific Rim. That movie, I'm still very disappointed in that movie. It looked fantastic. And for those that don't know what I'm talking about, please write some of this stuff down and watch it. Like Pacific Rim is a beautiful movie. It has some really cool things in it. Story-wise, plot-wise, acting-wise, it's horrible. Just so, like, even the acting was terrible in that movie. The story was terrible. The acting was terrible, but looked good. And the robots looked good. The CG looked passable. It was pretty good. Shut up, bass. But it's all about that bass. I give up on Tex. Tex hates me, is what Misty says. You're don't worry. I think your disclaimer you said at the beginning covers you, so you can say you hate whatever you want. Okay, DV Oink is cutting out. He's got to go hide his bacon, I guess. Yep, love you too, brother. Have a good one. Have fun. Yep, he's working the night shift in Alaska, which that cannot be fun. I mean, I heard when you're in Alaska, avoid the cold, dark nights. And here he is working on, I believe you're still working, I believe he's still working on an airfield at night in Alaska. And that's I like my job. I think I'm good. I could totally hang out in Alaska. I know Sam wants to hang out in Alaska. Hey Sam, I heard we can hang out at Oink's house at night because he won't be there. Let's see. What else can I mention? What else can I mention about anime and Youmacon? So Youmacon is a large anime convention in Detroit, probably the largest anime convention in Michigan. I tend to avoid a lot of the large anime conventions because it's a different type of audience, different type of focus than the comic conventions. But that's not a bad thing. It's just I feel more comfortable at the comic conventions, and a lot of people that go to the anime ones feel more comfortable at the anime conventions. That's all. And plus, when I do video there's a lot more people that want me to only film one type of thing. Like I love the family cosplay stuff. I love people being expressive. The comic conventions, you tend to know the characters. Animes, you never know. You don't know. You might think you know the character, but you don't know because it's a wide range. A lot more younger than myself. So there's a lot of characters that I don't know, but that's fine. It's a really fun time and super creative cosplays. You see way more cosplay, way more creative, and time spent on cosplays at the anime shows. That's why I do like to at least see what they're wearing and how they create it, because it is amazing. I know I'm missing some great animes. My favorite series is still. My favorite series has to be Mobile Suit Gundam. I still never seen the original. I've seen clips of the original. I've read a very in-depth analysis of the original Mobile Suit Gundam. There's so many series of it. I never watched the Gundam Seed stuff, but I've seen Iron-Blooded Orphans. I've seen Gundam Wing. I've seen Unicorn. I saw a few of the other things that are out there now too. I can't say it's an intriguing world because there's about 4 or 5 different worlds there. Zero M8th, what was it? Zero M8th Gundam Team? No, 08th MS. Whatever. If you know the show, you know what I'm talking about. But there's a lot of good Gundam things out there. That one always seems to base on kids fighting in a war using gigantic suits. Because, juveniles plus gigantic killing robots always make a good show. One Piece. I love One Piece. Pirates. Oh man, One Piece is amazing. I need to finish watching that show. It's still going on. That show, just One Piece has been going on for so long. I think it's the longest running anime series and longest running manga or whatever you want to call it, book series. They need more dubbed. It's hard, once you start watching, I prefer dubs over subs, even though the subtitle stuff is still good. It's just when I'm watching a colorful anime with a lot of action in it, it takes me way longer to get through it if I'm reading subtitles, because I have to read the subtitles and then see what's going on, because they communicate so much in the action, it's hard to do both at the same time. Although I will say I will watch the dub with the subtitles on. That helps. That helps. That's really cool, because the big, of course, the big difference of people argue subs over dubs is the original voices. A lot of people say they prefer original voices, but if you don't know what they're saying, I don't know. Sometimes you hear the original voice and you're like, that's not how I picture the character sounding, because that's not how you're introduced to them. But sometimes you hear the original voice, you're like, wow, that's a way better voice actor, but you don't know what they're saying. In any translation, whether it be verbal or written, which they don't always correspond if you watch. That's why I watched the dubbed version with the subtitles. Because sometimes they don't correspond. They're not the same words. But by watching the actions, you can kind of figure out which is the right verse. Because you're not watching, it's a lot different watching another culture's type thing. And there are some anime shows that were never really meant to go overseas, and they contain a lot of slang that we don't get. Like I want to say Host Club, that was on Netflix. It might still be on Netflix. Host Club was very good, and it has a lot of intercultural slang and type gags that we wouldn't, culture gags that we don't get in America. Like they talk about growing mushrooms in the closet. There's several psych gags about someone hiding in the closet and with mushrooms everywhere. Well, it's a saying over there saying he's just being by himself, lonely, and in some reason he's feeling depressed because someone embarrassed him. And when there are things that you get in a lot of their animes that, for the most part, you can get is when a male sees a female and their nose starts to bleed. It's a total anime trope, but that's also a trope in their culture that that your nose bleed. I guess it goes deeper than just your nose bleeding is what they say, but they show like, oh, he must like her because his nose is bleeding. Can you imagine if we had something like that in just like a live action serious show, or even not a serious show? They should did that in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Yeah, that's such an Easter egg they missed in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. That's one of those movies, that and Ready Player One. Movies like that, they could have totally put that in there. And if you didn't watch anime and you didn't get it, no big deal. But if you did watch anime and you got it, it would just be so funny. And I'm sure there's things like that I miss. Like the Clerks animated show. I didn't understand why every once in a while they had, yes, Clerks had an animated cartoon show. Go look it up. It was animated in Korea because so many American cartoons are animated in Korea, especially when they're hand-drawn. The director of the animation had a reputation for putting a bowl of noodles in at least one shot of every episode. So you watch that, go look for the bowl of noodles. And there's other people that put cats around all over the place. I've seen that trope in live action where people say, "Oh yeah, there's a cat just walk around. We never mention it. We're actually, we and then they talk about why they're kind of giving a nod to some kind of anime trope or something like that. Let's see what else we have. Space Dandy, never saw it. Project A-ko. I really would like to rewatch those. I never saw the series. I would love to watch the movies again. Blue Seed. So Blue Seed, and I don't expect a lot of people to know that anime. What I did for a while when I was in the Marine Corps, because I would literally just go and buy cheap anime DVDs or just buy series that sounded interesting. That's how I had the Final Fantasy anime show, Final Fantasy Unlimited, and a bunch of others. Blue Seed was interesting. I found an entire box set of this anime called Blue Seed for $5 in a $5 bin of a music store. This is 2003 or 2 or 3, I don't know. But back when there were still music stores and some people still went to the mall. So this whole big box of this anime in a $5 bin, it was not bad. Of course, other animes I got out of that bin were absolutely terrible. I'm sure Sam wants to yell at me for one of those right now. I forgot what I watched this horrible anime, not Blue Seed, one I don't remember the name of. And you could actually see through the characters. It was so bad. And I forgot all about it. And so Sam's over the apartment and I'm like, hey, let's watch. I don't remember this. So it'll be like watching the movie for the first time. And she still hates me for it. Won't let me choose movies because of how bad that was. Fooly Cooly, great show. Well, I think the show is kind of silly, but it's absolutely hysterical. Fooly Cooly FLCL is, and I think they have a sequel series out now. Is FCLC, CL, but Fooly Cooly is definitely a series that is interesting enough to watch at least once. It's right up there with Cell Saga, if not way higher than Cell Saga. Cyborg 009. I never watched it. Heard good stuff about it. Yeah, I've heard good stuff about Cyborg 009. Is that gigantic robot though? If this is a gigantic robot, I'm sold. Speaking of which, I still need to watch the Netflix anime series of Godzilla because it's gigantic. Godzilla has gigantic robots and gigantic monsters. You can't go wrong. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut this off now. Unless somebody in cosplay comes walking up as a gigantic robot, which I have had in several of my cosplay videos. People actually do some really great Transformer stuff. Hey, okay, spitballing ideas for cosplays and mixed cosplays. We need a gigantic robot version of Groot. Why? Because why not? Has that been done yet? Has anyone done a gigantic robot version of Groot? Or then are we just getting into a tree bird territory from Lord of the Rings? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for listening. Thank you for watching. If you did get a giggle out of this podcast or learn something, or you want to, or you just want to share it with friends, we are on many, many apps, including Spotify, including Stitcher, including Podbean, the Apple thing, the Google thing, a lot of the things. So they could find us on there by searching Media Layer Sandwich. They can find us on YouTube. They could find me on the websites. They can find me on Facebook groups. Treebeard. That was the name of this guy. What did I say? Treebird? Treebard? He should be a tree bard. I think trees should sing more. We don't have enough singing tree. Wait, no, then we're getting to Huff and Puff category here. Yeah. I might be mistaken, but I think in one episode of H&R Huff and Puff, or Huff and Stuff, they had a gigantic robot. They had a lot of weird stuff on that show. Not an anime. Yeah, not an anime. Just Google that and you will be stuck in a YouTube hole for a while. Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the discussion. Feel free to join in on the discussion. Comment on YouTube. Comment on any of the Facebook pages or groups. Media Layer Sandwich does have a group. And you know what? May the algorithms be in your favor. Toodles. Kenshin. Oh, God, I didn't mention anything about Kenshin. Kenshin was awesome. So was Tenchi. I didn't mention nothing about Tenchi Muyo as well. Tenchi was great as well. Yeah, man, I watched a lot of Kenshin and Tenchi. A lot of Kenshin. Man. Yeah, it was a good show, too.